Hi, I'm Raymond Ockille, the author of Rag to Rose, and this is my OMG interview. Rag to Rose is inspirational, insightful. It's not just a book, it's a tool that will equip you personally and help you so that you can inform others, so that they can make an informed decision as they journey to a destination. Rag to Rose was birthed out of tremendous trials and tribulation personally. But as I went through the process, you take a piece of fabric and it's transformed into a rose. And life is like that. Life sometimes treats you as a piece of rag. But you have to understand clearly that the purpose and the potential that is wrapped up in you is what you need to focus on. So at the age of 10, big people had a disagreement. And my grandfather and my mother and my father, they had a disagreement. And I paid for it in a sense that I was put out by the age of 10 by my grandfather, and I journeyed back to a place called Silats. It was tough, it was rough. I grew up a very angry, bitter youth. Got involved with, as it's called, the wrong elements, selling drugs, guns, anything that you can think about that the environment would have breathed negatively, I got involved in. And I was growing up, a little gangster guy, had no sense of purpose, had no sense of worth. Felt deep inside that nobody loved me. I was very confused. I was very angry. I was very bitter. I was very cross. But somewhere inside, I wanted more than my environment provided for me. I lived in a place, as I say, wood house, board house, outhouse. Mommy alone. Well, daddy was somewhere out there. And connecting, as I say again, with the elements of those who would have been selling drugs, they became my mentor. Those who would have been running guns became my mentor. The village ram, as I see, the sex man, he became my mentor. And started to see things on a different light from Bish. You know, Bish is country, grew up with grandparents, but more or less kind of sheltered. But when I came into Silats, I had no really sheltering, I had no really covering. Mommy really tried, and I really love her. And out of the trials and the errands and stuff and thing in life, I made some bad choices. I remember at the age of 14, I was fed up of being beaten up. You may look at me now, but I wasn't really also full out. As I give this story, my lip was over my face, they call my liver lip. And my eyes was in my head like a socket, they call my donkey eye. And my head was bigger than my body, they call me headly. Yeah, so I remember one evening that a church thing happening. We used to call it the church life taking place in Silats, a place we used to call the bank now is a big basketball court. And there had a church service happening. And one of my friends looked at me and he said, "You feel you can leave this wildlife and join that church life because we're on our way to a party." And not just a party, but to really do some destructive stuff based on prior things that happened, feud amongst gangs and communities and stuff like that. And I remember a voice said behind me, yes, and when I look around, it had nobody. So when I look at them, I started to cuss because I was very limited in my vocabulary and stuff, so I used to make up with it. And I remember a voice said to me, everybody wants change, but nobody wants to change. You change and be an example. And from that moment, I didn't go to the party again. I went home, I sat down, and I really cried. I said, Lord, listen, if you really, I don't know much about this church and this God thing, but I need a change. I need some kind of transformation. And for that week, something happened deep inside. I can't really fully explain it. But there was a change that happened inside of me. And that very week, I lose the desire to drink. I wasn't a big smoker. I just smoked weed to see what it's about and stuff like that. I was always into dancing and music and those things like. And the Friday evening, I went up there. I heard a man by the name of Desmond Austin preaching. I can't remember what he said much, but I remember he said something like, anybody wants to make a decision to change. I went up, I made a confession, and I declared that Christ is Lord of my life. And the next day, that was the experience. When I woke up and I came outside, I saw the world in a whole different light. And I began to fellowship. At the church I'm now pastoring, I said, I'll never go to that church because fire burned that church. And I went across and I started to fellowship there. And that began the journey from the rag to rose. With me looking from outside within, I used to say that church had no love. They didn't care about nobody. But when I started to go, I found real love. I found men who took me under their wings and began to nurture me, because not having the father in your life, my father's present, but that day-to-day interaction, that father-to-son discussion, being able to express myself to a man and to cry and to really let him know how I feel, and I didn't have that. But they provided that kind of space. The women helped me to appreciate women and how to love women and how to appreciate myself, even how to cook and how to dress and how to appreciate the finer things in life. So I must say I appreciate the members of See That's Open Bible. As a guy, didn't like to read and stuff like that, but they nurtured me into that. They supported me. I had nothing much in terms of education. I didn't have a skill, but they gave me the support. I went back YTEP and I went back different courses and classes to improve and better myself, so I could live a more meaningful life. I could have something so that I could become gainfully employed. Thinking about it, being on the block, being involved in what we consider the gang life, you would think that they care for you, because sometimes when you see the kind of sacrifice that brothers will make for brothers, you think that is real love. But at the end of it, they want something. It's not something that you can just walk away from. But in church was different. I was scared to receive what was being dished out to me, what was being given to me, because I felt what I want in return.
You wasn't too sure
I wasn't too sure about what's going on. But that's the first time I understand this concept of love is really about you, and it's really about your divine God-given purpose. We want to help you to become all of that. And there is nothing that we want from you in exchange more than be a success story for God. Well, today I'm the senior pastor of the See That's Open Bible Church. I'm also a national youth director of the Open Bible Standard Church's youth arm. I also work at Family Focus Broadcasting Network that houses the home of Issac 98.1 FM. I'm also the youth coordinator there. I'm a motivational speaker. I have my own NGO, which is called REACH. So I have my own NGO, which is called REACH, Restoring, Encouraging, Advocating Care for Humanity, work with inmates, also families who've been affected by crime, at-risk youth, and a whole lot of other things I do. I'm coming from that place again, from just having no sense of purpose. Now I have a great sense of purpose. So I go to schools, interact a lot with youth, interact a lot with men. I have something called Best Men, Best Women, because my desire is to see each human being become the best that they are designed to become. So the thing is about putting down cutlass, putting down gun, putting down knives, putting down a lethal tongue that will insult you and make you feel worse than a worm under the ground. I picked up a pen and I began to write and to pen my life journey. I began to pen experiences, things that I have seen. And I really didn't know that I was writing a book, because the first thing I didn't like to write. And it led me to write a book that is called Rag to Rose. Somebody invited me to speak, and I was like, pen and paper again, chalk, and young people don't want that. And I can say this without apology. I believe clearly it was a divine inspiration. I got this piece of fabric, and I began to look at the fabric, and within the fabric I saw this rose, because I had learned a craft. And then the thought came from rag to rose. It's a journey, it's a process. Within the fabric there are strands, there are thread, and it needs to be moved, and then it's folded and made into this beautiful sheer work of art, which is a rose. And I recognize we are like that. We may be going through situations, but we don't have to remain in our circumstances. We can become all that God has designed us to become. So in Rag to Rose, I dealt with low self-esteem, because I know about that. I dealt with anger. I dealt with a lack of self-worth and value. I dealt with abuse. While I may not have been sexually abused, but I went through the physical, I went through the verbal. I dealt with the whole aspect of neglect as a form of abuse. And there are different things within the book, but I also dealt with the rose, and the rose talks about being resolute. Don't give up on your goals and your missions in life. Being organized. I think one of the challenges we have, we don't organize ourselves. And learning to make sacrifices, that's critical. There are times when I had to walk away from my friends. There are journeys I took. I walked miles just to get what I wanted. I walk away from the crowd. And now I'm more efficient, I'm more effective. I can now manage my own business and manage my own affairs, and now encourage others. And that is what the rose concept is really about. It's about a mentality. You can have it all. You could have the money, the luxury, and see somebody else who need help and refuse to help them. He said, don't withhold good from somebody if it's in your power to do it. And because you fail to do that, you are considered one that possesses a rag mentality. So you could have the best in life, but you have real issues on the inside, challenges that you have never dealt with. That's having a rag mentality. So going to jail to you is a good thing. That's a rag mentality. So you have the ability to be an A student, but you settle to be a BD. That's a rag mentality. Things are affecting you negatively, but you won't seek counsel, you won't seek help. That's having a rag mentality. A rule says, I want to be the best me, and therefore I'm going to do all that it will take to be the best me. What my OMG moment? When I went and collect the books, I couldn't believe that moment then. I drove from Port of Spain to San Fernando, packed the books in the vehicle, and I still couldn't believe the moment. And when I reached home and I unpacked everything and I sat down there, I really went like, oh my God, this thing is real. Yeah? So I will say that, and giving my life to the Lord and seeing God turn me from that rag to this rose. Well, this is it. This is my brand new book, my first book. It's called Rag to Rose. I want you to know you can find it very soon in almost all the bookstores. You can also catch me on Facebook. Just check Rag to Rose. And I want to say thank you very much for viewing. Bless you. Rag to Rose. Peace.